Hey guys, thanks for joining us for the ninth episode of Spears of the Dawn. I am Arthur Perkins, aka APGamingREAL, and this is our crew for the night. So let's check in with everybody, right? Because we got some cool stuff. Dom, I know you caught earlier that someone made fan art of you as a character from one of our scenes um, in Star Wars on the Wednesday night game. Because of your Kamina glasses.
Yes, I approve of this message.
Yeah.
I'm just so humbled by this that people care about my characters and how I look.
Yeah. How have you been doing this week, man?
Well, my grandma's picking out the new tile floors because we're getting everything. Everything's been stripped up. All the furniture's out of the house and like giant, pod thingies. And she's just picking out what kind of floor she wants. She's taking her time, which she deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I actually had to drive to
Where did
Atlanta
I?
last Monday. Took my little bitty adorable niece back home to her mom. Um Wednesday, I had to drive to South Carolina to take someone to an airport, and apparently it was supposed to be delayed, but it didn't get delayed. So we think they paid for a hotel room. We're not 100% sure because no
Okay.
charge to my credit card. So I'm waiting 2 weeks before I'm like, without a shadow of doubt, they paid for it. You know what I
You
mean?
you just assume that money's gone until 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, just assume. 'Cause after that point, it's like, what the hell, guys? It's kind of late for that, man. But yeah, Super Bowl was hilarious. One of my friends was a South Carolina fan, and I kept trolling him the whole time.
That's mean, man.
Well, here's the thing. I asked him for like GM advice, and he doesn't want to pick up the phone. But if I say anything negative football wise, it's like, oh, now you pay attention.
Got it. Of course. Uh, Virgil, how are you
hmm
doing this week?
I'm doing well. I missed the Super Bowl, but I did see the Super XCOM 2 stream
Yeah.
on AP Gaming Reel. That was fun
Yeah, that
because
was a
all of everyone
12-hour
in
stream.
yeah, and everyone in the chat was all the
They were
warriors,
role-playing
all the soldiers.
themselves on screen.
It was amazing
That keeps
chat. It was
happening,
really
you know.
fun. And so I'm excited for tonight's game as well. Things have been going good. Tuesday game is a blast now that I have like a standard cast that I think at least 3 out of 4 of them are good to go for like perma campaign. So that might be
Yes,
an
sir.
interesting development. Um, and other than that, just been driving around all day, having car problems.
Oh
So
no.
sitting in this chair, which look, it rolls fine. Uh,
Yay.
good to go.
Uh, yeah, and you're also a Twitch broadcaster, by the way. You're twitch.tv/Zircon5, right?
Yeah, I stream over at /Zircon5, and I do lots of like Dungeon World roleplay stuff. Pull in people from chat for games all the time. So if you're interested in playing, you should hit me up. At Virgil Levenger is the Twitter, so you can follow there if you want to see when I'm going live, or just holler at me. If you're doing some fan art, make sure you tag me in that because I'm super stoked on all the amazing just fan appreciation stuff, but coming our way. It really enthuses us for the role playing. So thanks everybody.
TL, how are you doing this week? I bet it's probably pretty busy.
Yeah. Um, this last couple of weeks, actually, if all y'all remember, even on chat, I've just been sick. A couple of weeks ago, I was sick. Then I got worse. Last week was crazy. But I was very productive. Some of you may know that I've been getting into Warhammer 40k, so I
Yeah.
get to build these little guys.
So Necron.
I love it, yes. So Necron, much spiders and undead. So I'm super excited about that. And I did the priming for the first time. I've never done war gaming miniatures before, so this part of gaming is very new for me. It was a lot of fun. And being cooped up at home, sick, and really couldn't go out. It was contagious. That really helped the time I built some of my army. And then over the weekend, we primed. Just did the priming coat, some of this lovely black and some white. I'm doing Necrons and Eldars, and we've got also Tau and Tyranids happening in the family. So it was fun. It was nice to just also kind of focus, and I really couldn't do too much else. I was really just, oh, it was terrible. But I did a lot of reading last week, Sunday. I also led D&D Dames, is what it's called officially, which was just a local meetup of women who wanted to learn how to play 5th edition D&D. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I love in-person storytelling, and I love this kind of group storytelling. And it was just so much fun to talk with newbies and get people learning their first experience with new characters and character gens, so that was good. And Arthur has mentioned before, thank you, Arthur, for the support for Loot Crate, and Firefly is going really well. So those brown coat fans out there, I hope you are looking at what we got, because it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, that Loot Crate Firefly looks good to me. I'm sorry, you said the name of your group. You hadn't named it before, and I thought, damn,
correct,
that's
yeah.
hilarious. And I literally forgot it 1 second later.
The D&D group, they decided to call themselves D&D Dames.
Ah, yep, there we go. I was like, damn. Wait, what was the name again?
That's really good. What's really good?
It was just a one-shot. It wasn't anything recurring, but it was a really nice way to get a bunch of people
What's my
together
name again?
who hadn't seen, hadn't really done Dungeons and Dragons role-playing, but maybe it did few other things before, different systems, maybe a little Pathfinder, maybe a little Iron Kingdoms. So they were really new to D&D. I always like that, getting newbies sort of set up. 1 to 3 levels are really kind of my favorite levels.
Yeah. All right, Gamer Siren, how are you doing this week?
Not too bad, not too bad. Friday was the big day. I had my interview with the JET program. I will find out in a month whether or not I will be going to Japan to teach English.
That's the worst.
Yep.
Wait.
So I feel like it went really well. I had a couple people say some things to me that had me doubting a little bit, but we'll see if that, holds up in a month. Other than that, we'll be playing through my birthday tonight, so I'm pretty excited about that too.
Yeah, that's midnight,
Yeah,
right?
coming right
Yep,
up.
that's at midnight, so I'll be leveling up, literally.
Yay!
Oh my god!
We sing, right? That's a thing that you guys do, singing happy birthday.
Oh, I mean, I sing all the time.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's gotta
sing
be a
all the
thing.
time. Happy Birthday is just one of the worst songs it's ever written.
Well, we can't. We can't sing Happy Birthday. We have to sing another off song because it's copyrighted.
Oh, we can do like, hold on, I'll find a good one.
And
Happy
tomorrow
birthday.
on my real birthday, though, I will be on Zircon stream, doing spout lore, revising bringing back my role as my druid, where I just eat people's faces and take off limbs. So
Oh boy,
there's that.
Awesome. Perfect.
I know you
I'm
play
having-
a character that eats people too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. I'm having a fantastic day because, as was announced, Twitch is rolling out Roll20 is rolling out their Twitch Ambassador program, which I've linked in the chat. There'll also be a description in the YouTube VOD. It just is awesome that they picked me to be their first Twitch Ambassador of the first 4 in the Phase 1. So tonight we're being hosted by Roll20, so go ahead, give them a shout out if you want. You can follow them on Twitter at Roll20app, and see who the other 3 ambassadors are going to be. All very cool people, from my understanding, who are all great D&D streamers.
Awesome.
So my morale was up on that. My workout today was freaking amazing. They were like, here, hold this really heavy bag in your right hand, and then hold this really light bag in your left hand, and hold them both over your head, and then walk around. And I was like, this is terrible. It's going to end poorly. It was actually pretty cool, and I got to do the helicopter thing when you turn, and the bag is really heavy. It like keeps moving you forward, and you're like, no! As some of you might know, my favorite movie in the entire world is Black Hawk Down, so I was like, Black Hawk Down! Fell over at least once. Yeah. So, I'm always hesitant to ask the players what they remember from last time, because it's usually going to be super negative.
Well,
But,
let's see.
It got real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got
It's-
real.
Real quick, dude.
I think to cover it, we discussed what happened during the 3-year time jump forward. We found the political system of the town of Talksburg, which has now become New Hope. Karim and Naomi had been married and have a daughter named Hope now. Goffu has kind of become the magic advisor, being the only Ganga, that's the term for sorcerer in this system, of the village. And Abelia had become what is essentially a vampire.
No big.
She'd become an eternal
Okay.
who must sustain herself by not just drinking blood on a regular basis, but by eating an adult human corpse every 3 months. And she'd be doing that for almost 3 years.
God, you know, a human corpse would last a while. That's a lot of meat.
Yeah.
I'm a growing girl.
And we found Naomi and Karim were helping her under the table to acquire the blood, if not the bodies, through their new religion that they formed. From there, we were introduced to a host of new characters, including Ubuntu, who is kind of a political figure who's come out to the wilderness for reasons we don't completely understand yet, but who seems to expect that at some point he'll be put into a position of power.
He's on my eat list, I remember.
Yeah, and also he doesn't go like 13 words without mentioning that he's used to be an Oba, which is like a leader of like a city.
Yeah, it's basically like a mayor. We also had Raugo Ruko, who in the 3-year time skip ended up getting an eye cut out, and so carried an eye patch around. And he was the military commander of the Spears of the Dawn. And finally, we learned about a mysterious figure known only as the Cheetah, who lives outside of town and comes in to just preach about the word of ruin. One of the spirits of the land, who is attempting to subvert the worship of the death spirits, as Ruin is one of them, but considers himself somewhat more powerful than the rest. We were introduced to a new villainous figure named Kuisei Mbala, who is an eternal lord, so another one of those vampires, but a extremely advanced one, who in life was once at least a governor, if not a king, of an empire, and in his unlife has continued to rule over his zombie subjects and set them against the Empire of New Hope.
I have never been so terrified of an NPC and so so sure that my character was dead in my whole life. It was this guy.
Karim, Goffu, and Abelia went on a scouting mission with Raugo Ruko and their scouts. Unfortunately, they used some magic while they were out there, and one of the Watcher guards was currently in a magical state where he could see all magic, and their stealth magic immediately gave them away in a complete reversal of the normal situation. Karim challenged Kuisei to a one-on-one duel to the death, and Goffu and Abelia immediately interfered when it looked like Karim's life was at danger. Goffu bravely attempted to hold off all of the other Gangas, but was outnumbered and outcasted rather quickly and gave his life to get Karim away. Abelia also fell, but being an Eternal, she is unable to die, and is now sitting there slowly reawakening as Karim runs as fast as he can back to the Empire of New Hope to his waiting wife, Naomi, in the village. Did we cover everything there? I think we covered quite a bit.
Brilliant.
Gosh,
Well
man.
done.
The feels from that episode.
Yeah,
With
I
that
think you got
recap.
everything.
All right, excellent. That's good. You know, I write these little introductions, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I forgot that really cool thing that happened.
We did have a big battle.
Yeah,
There was
that
a-
was
yeah,
a big
little
battle. I kind of
invasion.
skipped over that because it was basically
Yeah,
just
pretty
everybody wrecking face. And there was a point where Goffu was like, I want to keep hitting them. I was like, okay, you do. I was like, they're going to run out of your range and around. He's
Well,
like,
I'm just saying that's what I would do.
yeah, you were like, I can kill at least 5. I was like, there's 100 out there. And you're like, but that's 5 less.
Exactly.
I think we open with a scene of Karim reuniting with Naomi back in the village. Now, by the time you get back, it's somewhere around midnight, and there's just a few torches burning around the area. The remainder of the scouts are all dead, so there's no one really guarding the village right now. All of the spears who fought in the battle that day are either wounded or resting up. So, where do you meet up with Naomi, Kareem? Or I can even, I mean, Naomi, I asked you the same question.
I'm like, God, it's dark, right? We were there.
Yeah, it's dark.
Okay, so it's dark. It's probably like middle of the night, and I'm just like panting, running through like the scrub brush. I'm all messed up because I'm all electrocuted and bleeding.
Yeah, you even added that to your token, right?
Yeah, I updated the token after the fight.
Let's get that fan art token from Cottontail right there.
So Cottontail did this drawing of Kareem, and after the fight, I just added like the lightning scar and some cuts on the face because he got wrecked. Seriously wrecked. Lucky he didn't get one shot.
So I love the idea of you just being like, oh.
Yeah, and then I like stumble into the. As soon as I get like into the kind of proper of the town, I just collapse on the ground and start calling, like, Naomi, Naomi, like can barely move, after like running, panicked, injured. Yeah, and I'm just calling.
So Naomi, where are you in town? I believe you were praying to the spirits to aid your party, if not your husband's survival.
Right. I was off kind of like where we have the makeshift temple area. So I was there, worshiping our spirits, asking for, our friends to come back, obviously in one piece. I'm going to hear the noise. I'm going to hear him calling out because it's not like depending on how far he is, which.
Well, it's probably quiet too.
Right. Plus it's quiet. So, as I hear that, I'm going to run off to the direction of his yelling.
So the two of you meet up slightly outside the barracks.
I collapse like into her arms, and I'm just like, Naomi, we have to get away. We can't stay here.
What has happened? Where is everybody? What happened to you?
I probably like cough up some blood. And I'm like, we came upon them. They were poisoning the river, and they were raising all of our own scouts, raising them as Eternals against us. Quise was there. Oh, I challenged him.
You hear a voice call out as you say that. Who's out there? Is that you, Karim? King Karim? And we see a man in like terrible robes, just absolute mess right now, covered in blood, clearly awakened from sleep, very disheveled looking compared to his normal appearance. Stumbling outside is the portly man we know as Ubuntu. Karim, I'm so glad to see you. I assume you are well, my king.
I literally just fling blood like in his face, like trying to like swipe him away as I like hold on to Naomi with like the other hand. And I'm just like, Goffu was destroyed. There were so many Gangas. He could not overcome them. Abelia, she pulled me away, and she fell in battle. The rest of the scouts as well. And Arthur Rago Ruko was there as well, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, Rago Ruko, the scouts, everyone but me.
So as you try to fling blood at him and push him away, Ubuntu like gets a hand in the way as the blood's coming over. He's like, "Oh, can't believe you would do that to me, my king. Back in my homeland of Nyala, I was an Oba. No one would ever do such a thing to me." And he starts like brushing the blood off of him, and then starts like licking his hand to clean it.
I don't think we have time for this or your stories tonight. If what he says is true, we and all of New Hope are in danger. We need to start preparing.
Fine. We have many spears here to aid us. And
We took the best people with them. They're gone.
So he
Wait a
brushes the front of his clothing off and stands at his full height and says, "You did not take me with you, my king, so you did not take the best among you."
I grab his like clothes, and I'm like, the king of this land is an eternal with a sword of lightning and death, and he keeps this land. You think you can go face him? You are a fool. Look at my face, and my face is like burned with like just like lightning streaks across it, and I just like stare into his eyes, and I'm like, "You wish to challenge Quise?"
And it's at that moment in the river that adjoins the village, you see a bright blue flash, and it looks a lot like if you ever played the original Homeworld, there's just like a flat blue plane, and then like a boat sails out of it and just stops. Like Ubuntu turns backwards, is like, "What is that?"
It's too late. They're here.
And that's when we cut over to Abelia. So Abelia, you awaken slowly as someone is like dripping water into your mouth, except it tastes very sweet. And you realize it's actually blood, the sweet, delicious blood you require to live.
Lovely.
And as you awaken, your eyes open. There's a man like cleaning his neck over with like a napkin, and then you realize it's actually just a scrap of human flesh, and he's like patting it on there, and then he like picks up a piece of human flesh and just starts eating it and says, "Una tu tatawane." And you can tell he's speaking Eternal to you. Do you have the Eternal language?
No eternal. There was a Goffu was going to teach
What?
me.
You leveled up. What do you want?
No, there's the eternal is in a list language on my list.
So the man squats before you, and as he enters the light of the campfire, the shadows on his face are dispelled, and we can see that it's Quise. With the light reflecting off his sword that's sheathed over his shoulder, you can see the hilt actually has like electricity running down it.
I
And the
talked to
man
him
turns
in
towards you and grabs you by your jaw and like squeezes your face together rather roughly and forces you to look directly at him and continues to speak in Eternal very harshly. Uchanawante! Chachatonawahe!
He's
So
got my face in his hand, so I just said,
yeah, he pushes your face away, and then
sorry, I still don't understand you, even if you squash my face.
so yeah, he pushes your face away and says, "Very well, the slave language then. Is that what you speak?"
Meru?
Is that what they're calling it nowadays?
It's written out of the ashes of the desert? Then yes. And it's not a slave language, a noble language.
And he turns toward the four magic casters that we saw last time and begins saying something to them in Eternal, and all of them begin laughing pretty hard. Some of them turn to repeat the phrase to other nearby Eternals, but we can tell like their society is breaking down because as they turn to the lowest ranked Eternals that are little more than zombies, the people look at them and kind of like nod and laugh, but you can tell it's just sort of repeating the action rather than actually finding it funny.
Oh, you do
Carise,
realize
like slaps you to make sure you're looking in his direction again and says, "Who sent you here? Whose province do you belong to?"
Do I know that his name is Quise?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Just want to make sure it was knowledge that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And Abelia, being the diplomat that she is, she can take a little bit of abuse, but she does sit up straight and she says, Quise, this will go a lot better if you can keep your hand to yourself. We can have a
he
civil
laughs. He's just like,
conversation. Ancient, old, eternal. To the
more
new
ancient than Quise.
eternal.
What is his or her name?
Yeah. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about those whose time has come. In case of, I look at his, I think you can see what I'm talking about. And the new Eternals, whose time has arisen.
There are no new Eternals.
You don't think so?
There have been no new Eternals in almost 40 years.
Then who are you talking to?
So he's already crouching down towards you. Now he stands up and turns, so you can see the entire length of the sheath on his back. And the sheath is very strange. It's a lot like almost the Witcher sheath, but the bottom edge of it is completely exposed, and you can see blood dripping off of it, and the lightning playing along the edge of the blade. And it almost certainly is intentional that that bottom part is exposed. And he says, I believe I am talking to a spy from one of the other province governors. You seem to be intelligent still, so you must be at least a noble, if not a lord class. But I will have the name of whoever you are working for out of you.
Quise.
Why are we still speaking this slave language? Switch to the common tongue.
I have yet to learn the language of the Eternals, as I've only just become one within the last span of moons. If you'd like to teach me, then we can converse, noble to noble. But until then, the language of our ancestors is what is.
So he crosses his arms, and you can see this action from behind. And he says, you would dare suggest that I am a noble? I am a lord among men. I lead Eternals. I report directly to the Emperor. So when you do that,
Really?
there's numerous daggers with the hilt down on all of his nearby magic casters, and they're like wicked curved, obvious. We would think of them as like sacrifice daggers, kind of like kukri, almost. And all of them like reach for a blade when they see you clapping like that. And one of them says something in Eternal to Quise, and he holds his hand up and then closes his fist, and they all slowly take their hands down, but they're keeping their eyes on you. They seem very upset with what you just did. Quise turns around and says, "You have spirit, slave talker. What is your name?"
Eubelia of Sunwalker clan, daughter of Keb Sunwalker.
Sunwalker clan. That name sounds familiar. I think my brother drove them out of our lands some time ago.
You may claim that story if that makes you feel important, but today it's not an important story. What's an important story is that sitting before you is a new Eternal. Something that you didn't know about, it seems.
You may weave a clever backstory and imply you are from the slave lands, but I have yet to believe you.
Now you're talking like a lord.
So he laughs and then pulls out a crystal goblet and begins like squeezing the arm of one of the scouts, like one of their biceps, so the blood is forced out the end of the arm into the goblet, and like violently thrusts it towards you and says, "Have a drink."
I look at it. I look at what is the cup is.
It's a crystal goblet that's now been filled with fresh blood.
We're filled with flesh, but is the goblet itself anything special? Is it ornate? Does it have any pictures on it? Is it?
Yeah, it's got graphics. I think you probably recognize from the Bone Forest the depictions of the Sun Prophet being struck down. It's a very important moment in Eternal culture. So, it shows the Sun Prophet being struck down, and then the Emperor bathing in the Sun Prophet's blood and gaining great power by it.
Then I look at the cup and I say, "Oh, I know this story. Huh, very lovely." And I take a drink,
Okay.
or drink the whole thing. Salud.
Salute. That's Meru talk.
Merit, whatever we say.
Dom, Goffu's dead. As we focus in on this water boat, this rather large barge that has appeared, can you tell us what you look like as you appear on it?
Okay, you see a woman with kind of let me take off my glasses because I can't see the picture. Ah, my eyes. The background looks so
Everything's red. Yeah.
Yeah. You see a woman with a greenish emerald lipstick on, has a headband. I'm thinking braids versus dreadlocks by the look of the design, wearing a hood and has like a crocodile skull around her neck. For art design, she's well built, but not in the bulky sense, but the flexible sense, like she carries a longsword. And she looks pretty gorgeous because, swagger.
Karim, Naomi, you both see Themba the crocodile, who you might recall from descriptions, perhaps, that you've heard from Goffu.
I'm just kind of shocked. But how big is this boat?
This boat is about 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, and is like a flat river barge. I think they call them like sampans. It has about 12 people on board, including the crocodile.
You see Naomi and say, "Naomi, darling, I haven't seen you in ages."
Karim, we're saved. We should be okay now.
I'm
hope.
like, what? What do you mean? What is this?
You see me go over to Naomi and just pick her up and give her a big hug.
Okay, I like fall over because I was basically like trying to lean on. No, like
you see me like push Kareem out of the way.
I'm like, please no.
Themba, it's been ages. It's so nice to see you again.
I haven't seen you since curing school.
Yeah, it's been such a long time. How have you been? Was your trip... Well, are you safe?
Of course, of course.
I do have bad news, though. Your betrothed, he did not make it.
Oh. Don't worry, we could break him back.
So
that is true.
When you say that, Naomi, another familiar face steps forward. Avi, who is the Amazon who had to forcibly carry Goffu across the plains, steps up beside Themba and kind of pushes you apart from her. As you might recall, she's Themba's bodyguard, and is just like, nope, you stay back. I know you're trouble, Naomi.
Nope.
My trouble.
Now.
That's funny.
We're friends. We're all friends here. You see her like kind of twitching a little bit. That like friends. Yes, friends.
Yes.
So,
friends.
What happened to Goffu?
Point of order with Arthur. Was he incinerated or was his body there?
He was incinerated. He got hit with a lightning bolt, and then they hit him with 2 more fire attacks.
Enough damage to kill me twice.
Yeah. So I'm just like, we made a critical error when trying to go scouting. There was at least 100 Eternals, many of them too powerful for us. I tried to challenge Quise, their leader, to one-on-one combat, hoping for the best, but he was too strong. Goffu, he came in to save my life after I was struck. the mages overcame him. He is dead, and his body is not recoverable. He is but a pile of ash.
You see her face. She's like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Her face is turning red. Mm-hmm.
Thumba, this is Karim, my husband.
Oh, this is Kareem, your hubby?
Yes, my husband. And I walk over to Karim, kind of gather him up from the ground.
I heard stories from my assistants here about you. Very energetic.
I hope they weren't all bad.
Yeah, now I'm worried.
Oh, no. She just told me the
I don't think
important
I'd say.
detail about Goffu being in the tent, pooping and peeing all over the place.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
Goffu.
that was just that
Well,
one time.
yeah.
And apparently he's been doing Lost.
Just that one time.
Oh, just that one time, yes.
There was
Yeah,
a lot of
only the
peer
one time.
pressure.
It wasn't. It was a necessity. We had to do it.
Oh, you
Please
have
don't
to...
tell people. Sending a terrible message to the audience.
There was no
sorry.
reason for him to have to do it. He wanted to. I don't say that. Good character.
Kareem, please let me take care of you for a moment. As I say that, I want to cast Hands of Succor on him so that I can cure him.
Okay.
It's 1d8 plus 1 for HP, which I critically failed. So you have 2.
Yep, that's pretty bad.
On.
You gain 2 HP.
Get him out of the way. Get him out of the way.
Yeah, get those
Or
bad rolls
you're
out of the way
too
early. You'd hate to
Yeah,
like
you
roll
get
really
bad
bad in combat,
happen.
right?
It's gonna be bad tonight.
You get creamed.
You
I
see
want to
her
see how long
like,
it takes for that one to catch on.
between us girls, Naomi, there's no interest of Goffu here, right?
What?
He hasn't been messing around like his father, right?
I don't
She
think he
gives her
had a.
that stern look, like,
I
Just
don't
like
think Thumba
Goffu
that
is a
he.
gentleman and a scholar.
When
He
you
didn't
say
really
that,
have a
someone
chance.
comes over, and we get the moonlight reflect off their glasses as they approach. It's a young woman, probably in her early 20s, with dreadlocks and a simple, like alternating V down the front of her dress. That's like light blue, dark blue, light blue, dark blue.
What time is it? Is the sun now coming up?
No, this is
Middle of
about
the night
1
still.
a.m.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you see the moonlight reflect off her glasses as she passes a certain angle. And she says, "I'm sorry, did someone say scholar? Excuse me, I'm looking for King Karim and Queen Naomi. Can you please direct me to them?"
you see me
That
just
would be
like,
us.
She kind of looks both of you over.
Yeah, I'm like slumped over onto her and like can't even really stand very well.
Yes. Right. You're serious?
I'm
Yes.
filthy and I have like twigs and like leaves in my like hair from running through the brush.
I must apologize. He has just come back from a very exhausting battle.
I've
Well,
like fallen
this
in
is
the
certainly
mud.
not what I thought I was going to encounter when I had my first involvement with royalty. My apologies. How impolite. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tashok. I've been
Hello.
sent by the High Priestess of the Water Sphere.
Well then, welcome to Shok. Again, I apologize for the state in which you have to receive us.
Oh no, we were sent here specifically. She gestures to have you ever seen someone in one of the cowboy movies who's been hanged and they've got the scar around their neck?
Mhm.
Yeah.
She gestures to an extremely dark-skinned man, like midnight pitch color of skin, who's just wearing a loincloth, who's directing 9 other spears, and she gestures at this man and says, "That is Shiki Malif. He is the leader of this contingent of reinforcements. Themba heard that you required reinforcement several months ago, and we finally organized a relief contingent. I assume that myself, Avienda, and the 10 warriors will be enough to aid you."
You are just in time for the evacuation of the city.
I'm sorry, did you say evacuation?
Yes, I am quite glad to see you and that you have a boat. We will need to be ferrying people across the river, starting probably now. We should start waking people up. They are just about a mile and a half north of here. Over 100 Eternals are currently poisoning our water system. We cannot stay here.
We can't leave.
You have a boat.
She starts like chalkboarding something in front of her and begins speaking very quickly. I'm sorry, did you say they were poisoning the water supply?
Yes, they have slain every single one of our scouts. They've been raiding the town.
So, like, she holds up a number of calculations and a map, and we can see there's a lot of trigonometry involved. We'll be unable to make it back before we can outrun any poisoning. We would require the river in order to get water, but King Karim, you're thinking on a local level, not on a government level. You have to understand, that river is the lifeblood of many of the cities along the delta.
Yes, we will have to go north of the poisoning.
You don't understand. This would kill almost half of all people alive.
Yes, I did my best to stop it.
We've brought you reinforcements. Shika Malif is a very good warrior. I can do things.
Can you stop the poisoning?
Well, I have a bit of experience with water. I suppose if you were able to get me close enough.
Can I go, like, inspect the water right now and make, like, a,
It would be an occult check.
Occult, yes.
Occult intelligence.
I'm like, we could be too late already. We might... I told everyone to fill every vessel with water before I left. So I go down to the river, and I'm, like, testing it gently. My tongue. 2d6. A 6.
Yeah, the water seems fine.
Like, it's still sweet, but...
You recall that you interrupted the ritual.
Yeah.
With your attack.
Yeah, but Karim was unsure whether that was them raising Eternals or the actual water thing, because it was all confusing and dark and magic.
Now that you're checking the water, you take the time to remember it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like, they may have been disrupted, but they are so powerful. The Forganga, they have rained down fire and lightning from the sky like none other. And Quise, I would not face again in battle.
So in the background, we see Ubuntu moving towards you, raising his hand up, and then the scene is very dark and everyone's looking very somber. And we cut to the next scene with the Star Wars shoop wipe, and it's Quise laughing, and he's like, "Forever is today." Oh, very good, Amelia, very good. I get it. I get it. Now, let's talk business.
That's any language. Wonderful.
I want
in
you
any
to
language.
work for me.
Pedestrian.
Pedestrian?
Pedestrian.
Hardly. I require a trusted ally within the camp of this King Karim.
A spy? You just accused me of being a spy. Now you're a counter spy?
No. I already have a spy in his camp. What I need is someone I can
You.
trust.
It's Ubuntu for sure, then.
I need
I
you
already
to
know who
make
the
contact
spy
with
is
my spy. Make
Is it
sure
Ubuntu?
he's still on the right track.
Is it Ubuntu?
He looks at you and says, "Of course it's Ubuntu."
Oh, he's
I'm
on
honestly
my...
surprised you people
He's
didn't
licking
find out
blood,
sooner.
of course.
we say he's on my eat list. Oh, wait a second. You have an eat list, right? Like a list of people you're gonna eat, so that way you can say.
So, yeah, he's.
That's
I think he's sitting on the ground next to the fire, drinking from an equally fancy goblet of blood, and he's got like one of his knees up and the other leg is straight out, and he's just like.
I know you have an eat list, and
I
it's
didn't
I'm
have
pretty
an
sure
eat list
Raugo
before.
Ruko's dead body is at the top of his eat list, so he's fine.
No, you know, I didn't have an eat list before, but now that you mention it, if I did, Karim would be at the top of it. He is the
Really?
strongest warrior I have faced in 3 decades.
Ooh,
I
Oh.
can't
he would
wait to
be-
absorb his essence.
He would be happy to know that.
Too late, PU.
I think he would be happy to know that he impresses you thusly. So Kareem would be at the top of your eat list. Ubuntu is at the top of mine, followed
You would
by...
find Ubuntu's meat fairly stringy.
Why did you have to make him so annoying, though? Couldn't
I
you
didn't
find
make him
someone...
annoying. He
Oh.
came that way.
Even to you, too? How did you put up with him? No wonder why you sent him to us.
Do you truly want to know how I made him our spy? Is that what we will discuss here?
Yeah.
Very
Because then I'll
well.
know what not to do. Because he's terrible.
As you may know, he was a powerful Oba
Ova.
in Niala. Yes, I'm sure you've heard the story before. We Eternals have a network of spies that seek out allies. I believe your people call them traitors and heretics, but we call them firm believers. It turned to us an information that this man, this Ubuntu, was suffering grievously from a tumor. Something in his head that caused him great pain. We had magics that could save him, and we offered to turn him to an eternal. Let him live forever, as long as he kept with us, followed our ways. Unfortunately, the man is also a sociopath. As soon as he found out that he needed blood and bodies in order to survive, he began harvesting the population of his town somewhat indiscreetly. We had to fake his death, and he volunteered to come out here. We needed someone to keep an eye on your little settlement of Toxburg. Someone to let us know whenever the spears were moving out. Any information you had toward the location of Eternal strongholds we could use in order to harvest more Eternals. Bring more of us back into the fold. He's done his job rather well, but I understand he's been kidnapping children in the night and eating them.
And trying to blame it on eternal sympathizers. And
Strange,
mysterious
isn't it?
spies.
How is it you have survived so long in his camp?
Because he's a dumbass, honestly. You turned really the wrong guy into an eternal. He's annoying, as you can tell.
You
not really
misunderstand.
smart.
How did you survive quite literally? Who have you been eating?
Well, I've been doing a heck of a lot better job than Mbutu has been, because they've been noticing that the people are missing that he's been eating. So, not so smart there. But okay. I'll share something with you, Kui, since you've been really cordial. And I feel like we're building a nice little eternal mentor-mentee relationship here. I could learn a lot from you, right? You know, kind of the new kid on the block. I think you could learn something from me. Like, it pays to have a new religion sprout up in town. And it pays to the people who are running that temple or church are your friends. They happen to like you, so they help you out a bit here and there.
I
Maybe
see.
a few sacrifices of blood that are necessary anyway for said religion, and I handle the rest in my own discreet way.
You are saying Karim allowed you to live knowingly.
If that's how you'd like to put it, yes. I have no ego about it. My friends love me. I love them. They wanted to help a sister out, shall we say. say, we really
I
should
think-
have a conversation about this network of spies. I have a bit of a different idea of what
No.
the Eternals can become.
Well, I like
You
the
need to
FYI.
prove your loyalty to me first.
Good point. But let me just put this in your ear. The
I
new
love he's like,
age
no, and you're
for
like,
Eternals. I'm not saying anything more. Just saying it's the dawn of a new age for Eternals. I've lived among humans. I didn't really have to eat anybody. Wasn't that bad. There's a lot to be gained from perhaps reconsidering your positioning in the whole matter. I'm just saying. And then I take a drink.
you are young. Give it a few decades and the bloodthirst will grow.
Oh, you. Are you like this all the time? I knew there was a fun guy in there. You can't fool me, please say.
So he just laughs and raises an eyebrow and says, yes, a fun guy.
Fun guy. I like to say, somewhere in the heavens, Goffu's raging that someone's eating his students. Just, you see this, like, he's like so mad. He's like shooting lightning bolts everywhere. That son of a gun!
And Evie is like, how am I going to spin this? Because I do not want him eating. You know, so, what is your proposal, speaking of? It's this whole, I work for you and what I get fresh bodies? Like, the arrangement with Ubuntu, I don't really
Yes,
need.
something like that. We do require fresh bodies.
We say I'm a sunwalker. I do I eat, sleep, breathe politics. This is what I do. I'm not an Oba with a big ego. So we can do better than this, I think.
I think we will, but first, Karim Swift and his band must be wiped out. I don't disagree with your ideas. I believe you can be the lone survivor of this settlement, bringing the word of this new blood religion back to the lands. With some proper application of political power on your part, and sufficient religious fervor from our agents already in place, perhaps we can get many of the people in the land sacrificing blood directly to our agents. But Karim must be stopped.
From doing what?
So you see him still using human flesh to dab at his neck, and he says, "From hurting me ever again." Go to town, make contact, get my Oba back on the right path. His job is to kill Naomi.
Quise, you mean to tell me that all of these decades that you've been alive, little petty things like one human coming up to you and just slapping you in the right pace is really getting on your nerves?
Yes. When you live forever, there is little else to think of. It is the little things that count, isn't it?
Quise, I've been an Eternal for not as long as you, and I gotta say, I'm thinking more of the big picture. And,
Do your job, and we can talk about the big picture when you get back.
Quise, I have not accepted your proposal.
So, yeah, I think he just laughs and throws the crystal goblet into the fire where it shatters and the blood boils and says, "Yes, you have." Would you like to know the alternative?
You kill me. Did I get that right? Is that about correct? Torture first, cut my head off, burn me? I'm not surprised.
No. I will make sure you never die.
Oh, great. Oh, I've become one of them. Those guys.
No, interesting, but no. Probably we would keep you fresh with blood, but no body parts. We've done it before. I had a man locked down in a torture vault for 28 years. Sufficient applications of blood will keep him intelligent. However, constant cuts every time his wounds regrow. Well, his pain was exquisite.
But Quise, really? What are you, like 7,000 years old? That's what you do for fun? Is that what you think works now?
I'm only
threatening
about 89.
families and no talking about going into other towns. Really? I became an Eternal. Do you really think I care about what happens to me? Is that what you think this is all about?
Let me ask you a question. I once conducted an experiment where I tied stones to a man's feet and arms and then dropped this Eternal into the bottom of a deep well. Do you think he's still there?
Sure. For all intents and purposes. Why not? Bloated. And not dead and drowning. Or maybe he's had time to think.
And why do you think I would not do this to you if you don't do what I ask?
Please say. You're going to do lots of things to me. I'm just letting you know I'm not afraid. We need to have a conversation about how this is a bit more of a partnership than you think it is. Just a bit. Like this, like that. Just a little bit like there. Okay? You're way over here. Yeah, that's where you are. Me and you, we got to get a little bit closer. Just a little. That's all I'm asking.
Can you make a persuade?
Ooh, I can.
I feel like this is the culmination of your efforts here.
Let's see. Last roll. 2d. It is the 2d6, right?
Yep.
Plus charisma. It's charisma.
Yep.
Get it. Half.
He is unimpressed with your
not surprised.
appeals.
Not surprised.
So he puts a hand on top of your hand and says, Abelia, do this for me. Now. We can discuss your ideas later. The time for action is now. Karim is weak. It's time to finish him off.
My way or no deal?
Yeah. So I think that's when the scene cuts out.
Nice.
Arthur, you gave me the scene ending.
I know, right?
Oh.
And we open to a scene where Ubuntu is in the garrison making tea with Naomi and says, my queen, would you prefer a little bit of sugar? I think we still have some left.
When do we have time for tea?
When do we not have time for tea?
Right
Most
now.
of the times, we don't. We have people to worry about. We have these Eternals that are going to poison our water.
Naomi, Queen Akan, please remember that back in Nyala I was an Oba. Sometimes the most important action you can take as a leader is no action at all.
No, it is not true. I am not going to not take any action.
Allow me to explain. Karim is out performing everything you need, arranging for either an evacuation or an attack. Someone in this community must remain looking stable, looking solid, not panicked.
That's great.
If it's
I will.
not you, it's going to be me. Is that something you really want?
No, I will be calm and stable. I'm going to go converse with the spirits. Now, if you'll excuse me.
When you are talking with the spirits, who is talking with the people?
You do drive a hard bargain.
Now, one sugar
But sitting
or two.
here having tea is not talking to the people. You are correct. I will go out and I shall talk to the people. And
So-
I leave.
Yeah, he follows you and says, well, we shall talk to them together then.
Why? How are you needed? You are no longer Oba. This is not your
You
city.
know, I've been wondering about that. You and Karim are king and queen of an empire. However, have you ever considered that this particular town needs personal leadership?
Yes. we
While
did
you
have
claim a
personal
surrounding
leadership.
area, you need an Oba of Toxburg. I was thinking perhaps I could fill that role.
This is not the time to decide an Oba. Should we survive, then maybe we could open talks for an Oba of this area. But for right now, this is on the table, set aside, where more important things are happening. You will have to wait. I am sorry. Truly, I am sorry.
So he reaches out to like grab you, Naomi? Are you
Don't
doing
touch me.
anything to
Yeah,
pull
I'll
away
like
or
touch back. Like, don't touch me. There's no need for that.
so you are pulling away from him?
Yes.
So he says, "My queen, will you take the tea?"
I will not.
This is very insulting.
You are very insistent.
I am only trying to do what's best for you.
How do you know it is best for me?
Well,
Does
you
the
know,
crocodile see
back
this?
in Nyala, I
I'm
was Oba
so
of a major
tired
city.
of hearing your stories, Mbutu. Could you please go and do something that is eventful or something that is worthwhile for the people of the city if you wish to so show us how Oba-like you are?
Very well. And he starts moving in front of you to get into the barracks and begins talking immediately. Where are you headed to?
I am going to go find Cheetah's tent.
Okay, so you're heading west side of the city.
Yes.
So as we have like the cinematic, almost like Star Wars Phantom Menace type, you crossing the lands out away from here to another location. In the background, we see the dwindling lights of the city, and perhaps we see standing on top of a box of some kind, our good Oba preaching to the crowd, and many of them seem to be like nodding and raising torches up. When you arrive at the cheetah's tent, Cheetah is sitting outside facing towards you, but you don't notice them until you're practically right on top of them, and the cheetah says, "Hello, Naomi."
Hello, Cheetah. I've come to make amends. I was too hasty with you the first time that we've decided to talk, that I decided to come and talk to you. And for that, I'm very, very sorry.
What
Although
is
I
it
do
you
not,
want, Naomi?
although I do not agree with your message, somehow I feel that it is still necessary in the scheme of things. And not only is the spirit of death needed, but the spirit of ruin as well. I
I
come to
see.
ask for your help.
Now I understand. You have come to ask for the help of Ruin.
I have.
I don't understand why you think you would need me in order to contact him. You
I
appear to be his most favored advisor.
I understand that. Although I don't understand at the same time. And I think that is why I came here, for your help. I figured not just one of us, but maybe two of us, and we could possibly stop the threat or the onslaught these Eternals are going to bring to us. I don't know if I can do it alone.
Has Ruin ever failed to answer your call?
He has never failed.
Have you even asked him in any time in recent memory?
The last time that I asked him was when we were captured.
I see. I don't know why you've come to me, Naomi. You don't need my help at all. The power has been inside you all along.
Oh, Arthur.
So, I take it you're not going to help?
It is not that I am not going to help. It is that I don't need to help.
Then what place do you have?
I
Why have
have
you
been
come?
here all along, attempting to get you to come back to Ruin. Now you are finally here.
I guess you have succeeded.
I guess I have.
I thank you, Cheetah.
So Cheetah immediately begins, like, taking their tent and folding it down.
Where will you go now?
I'm not sure. Home.
Please don't forget us. And thank you.
No, thank you. I hope you are well, Naomi. I feel that Ruin is perhaps a powerful yet capricious master.
That is to say the least. And with that, I go to leave, then I stop, and I look at Cheetah. Who are you, really? Will you at least grant me that?
I think what happens is Cheetah turns away from you and takes off their mask so that you can't see their face, and then just drops the mask behind them as they begin walking west, and that's when we cut to another scene.
The tease.
Yeah,
Oh.
man, these scene cuts tonight are me being a total dick.
This is for last week, guys.
All love it.
Okay.
I want to cut to Goffu, Karim, and then Abelia stumbling into the village.
I don't know why you think Karim is like running around or something. He's probably trying to rest, Arthur.
I thought you were organizing the evacuation.
Wow.
No, I tell someone else to do that. I have to go to sleep. I don't know how healing works in this game. Will that even help me?
Save the town.
He got beaten to hell.
Take a nap.
I mean, we've never taken damage without like having just
Oh,
like
yeah,
a huge
Arthur,
amount of
by
time
the
in front
way.
of it.
Yeah, Themba? Did we lose Dom?
You see, they set up a tent like on the, I guess near the raft. You see the bodyguard like in front of the tent. You hear sobbing.
Ah, Themba's inside.
Yes.
Yeah, I figure Avienda comes to you, Karim, and says, Karim, get up.
Yes. I can barely stand.
Get up.
I like sit up.
So she reaches down and is like getting into position to like fireman carry you over her shoulders. Either you get up or I carry you like I did Goffu.
I like laugh one single ha at the thought of Goffu being carried around, and then I'm sad again because Gofu's a pile of ash.
Okay.
But then I get up.
Okay, I was gonna say if you don't do anything, she's gonna lift you.
It's not proper.
As she begins shepherding you toward Themba's tent, where you see perhaps like a flickering candlelight, and that's when Abelia stumbles into the town.
And
Quick
I'm
question:
like,
Am I literally stumbling, or am
Oh
I?
yes,
just...
yes, it's you.
No, but am I literally stumbling over my feet?
Yeah,
or
you
something?
probably like stumbled over a rock at some point.
It's like what's happening here? Going on. I see Karim. I see a woman I don't know. I see Naomi.
no.
No, Naomi's
I
still
think
outside of town.
I start like running towards you, Abelia, but like as soon as I start running towards you, I catch a bad limp, and I immediately have to like slow, and then I just decide to like stop and wait for
The
you.
music swells dramatically.
I'm alive, and guess what I'm supposed to do to you? One guess. Just one.
What, you're supposed to eat me or something, right?
Right,
Oh, Jesus.
Right. I'm supposed to move Ubuntu down of my eat list and put you on it.
So Avienda comes walking up and says, "Eat list. What is that?"
It's like a list of people that I want to take out to eat to dinner.
So she spits on the ground and says, "Ugh, why would you want Ubuntu in that list? The man is corpulent."
Oh my gosh, you are not kidding, and it would be terrible to have as a
Have
dinner.
you heard
guest.
him talk about how he is an Oba?
An Oba? Oh my gosh.
You should
Nice to
try
meet
being
you.
a Lakosan sorcerer.
Nice to meet you. I'm Evie. I'm essentially our
She
politician.
this is Avienda. You've met her before.
Oh, have I?
She was the one
She
who
was
came
the-
to cake back Goffu.
Yeah, she was a very strong-willed.
Yeah, Serena Williams.
You know, the one we tried to kill?
Yeah, you were talking about killing her in her sleep while she was sitting there still awake.
Yeah.
But,
We do that
okay.
sometimes.
That was okay.
So
Wait!
she's just like,
Hey!
yes, we've met before, Abelia.
We're sorry. It's been a long night.
So you were taken.
I was out to dinner. I was given an audience, shall we say, Karim. But I think I should share the story with Naomi and other trusted friends. If that's Avienda, then fine. But I don't think out in the open is appropriate.
Arthur, I'm not sure where we would actually have privacy around here.
The vault. Remember
Okay.
the secret vault?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the secret vault that Goffu built. So I'm like, we
The
will
secret
meet
secret
just
in
the
the
three
vault
of us.
or the secret vault. In the vault.
I'm like, you know what?
I'll just meet you in the vault in a few minutes. And that's where I just walk straight there.
I open the. We're like right close to the tent, right? Like fairly close.
Yeah.
So I just like
close.
stumble over the tent, and open it up, and look in. Right? Maybe I make like. Well, I'm probably pretty loud. I'm obviously making sound when I come over to the tent, and then I open up the fold.
All right, Themba. What happens? What do we see when the tent is opened?
You see a woman like she's like bringing up a napkin to her face, like, "I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. Please." She's like trying to get her like wipe her face, and you see mascara going everywhere.
I like sit down next to her and like put like one hand on like her shoulder, and it's like,
Please,
I know
please
this is
don't
a
touch
terrible
me.
time of grief, and I like very like jumpily. I was like, damn it, that was a mistake.
Thank you.
Like I know this is a time of grief for you, but the only other survivor from the battle has returned with important news. You should be here.
Goffu?
No, Abelia.
Wow, that was amazing, Dom. I want to say that reply was so good.
Oh, that one. Oh.
No, that right there, where you were like, "Oh, the survivor is obviously my husband," right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, I'm still like that one. Like I saying Abelia survives.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh, that one.
My heart.
She will have something you want to hear, I'm sure.
Of course. So
Please come with me. We must find my queen.
give me a sec. As you know, she takes the flask of water, throws it on her face, and just completely wipe off all her makeup because it's blurred, but trying to get a quick clean so she won't look as bad. And it's like, okay.
What's your gear? What do you like?
Oh.
Like you used to have all kinds of gear when you were Goffu. Like
I had like cheap gear, but she has the mail armor with, of course, snakeskin wrapped in it. A shield, a longsword. She actually has a bow and arrow. Camping kit. That's what she's in right now. A healing kit because I got that for free because Arthur promised me. Water kit, a few, one set of trading goods, and a torch in a sack, and a bedroll.
Yeah, so we're like similarly equipped as far as weaponry and stuff.
Yeah.
We must find Naomi. Follow me. And I head, I guess, towards the house because I think that's where I thought she last was. But if she's not there, then I just start meandering.
I think maybe all of you meet up in the open area by the shrine.
Okay.
Yes.
So as when I see Naomi, I'm like, it's Abelia. She has returned. She is waiting for us down in the vault.
Really?
The hidden vault.
How?
We must have
how
a
did-
meeting with no one else present.
How did she get
except for
back?
Themba.
So when you say that, immediately Ubuntu comes over and is like, "Oh, Abelia, you are back. I'm so glad to see you again."
Abelia already left. She went to go to the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not there, but he probably hears you guys talking.
Yeah,
So-
he's like, "Oh, Abelia is back. Excellent, excellent. I can't wait to see you again." And immediately starts walking towards the vault.
I grabbed like the back of his shirt.
Okay.
And I'm like, you are not Oba of this city, and you are not invited.
You know, I was going to talk to you about that, but Naomi blew me off.
That's
Did
right,
you
because I
realize
told
that...
you that we're not playing this game right now. We will decide later. Now, my king and I have business to attend to. You can stay out here. We will come and find you when we're done.
Yes,
And
that's
then we
very
walk
well.
off
So,
briskly.
Karim, I wanted to talk to you about
Briskly
something.
walking away, briskly.
Okay. He starts running after you and goes to, like, grab you back in the same way you grabbed him before.
Yeah, he does not, do that. I'm all amped up, Arthur.
Yeah, Karim
I've been
is
fighting
just...
Eternals all night.
I've killed my own village people. I'm fighting Eternals. My friends have died. Don't touch
So
me.
what are you doing?
Oh my God.
I just want to like throw him on the ground. I don't know if we'll do like some kind of test or whatever you want to do. I just want to like,
I do.
Aikido his butt
test
onto the ground.
from you.
Oh,
Let's see here.
oh no, you're done.
And I'm like,
I need
Keep
you to
your
make
hands
a
away from me.
physical effect save.
that's not a problem. I can do that. As soon as I find out. I don't want to do it without knowing what I'm going for. No problem.
Okay. Yeah. So he like goes down, grabbing at your elbow, and like frowns and says, "Karim, are you assaulting me? There are laws in this empire against that. Laws you have written yourself."
Yes, I write the laws. You best remember that. And then I just leave him in the dirt and keep walking away.
And the young woman, to shock, comes over and helps Ubuntu up. And you hear a brief discussion between the two of them about the nature of government here in this city. So let's have the vault meeting.
Yeah, we get down into the vault and just like sit, probably on like little crates or, uncomfortable boxes and bags. There's no seating in there.
Hey, Naomi,
Hey, Belia, it's good to see you.
how's the baby?
She's doing well.
I'm sure Karim has filled you in on what has happened.
Not so much, no. We had a bit of a run-in with Ubuntu, and I'm assuming something is not good with him. He's been very more pestering lately, and I don't really know his urgency.
You know about Goffu?
I do know that Goffu is passed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
You see, like, her trying to hold in, like,
I'm sorry, Themba. I'm sorry.
is Themba's here?
Yeah, we brought...
Themba,
It's
got it.
just the four of us. Just the PCs.
Themba, I've not met you before. I've heard a lot of things about you.
I heard a lot about you, Lost Girl.
So I'm gonna say a few things, and I have to trust that, like Goffu, you understand that this is the situation at hand.
Well, let me air out the room real quick. I talked to the spirits, and the spirits told me Goku had an interest here.
Fine. But what I'm about to say might freak you out, and so I'm gonna trust you. Naomi, Karim, Themba, obviously you can see I am back, and if you've heard Karim's story, I was felled by Quise, so that Karim could get away, and unfortunately Goffu sacrificed himself quite valiantly, I might add, to make sure the rest of us stayed alive.
You see her cringe, like, that's my Gofu. Always so stupidly brave.
Themba, if you could have seen him, he was a foot taller than any of us thought we would have gotten in these last few years.
And he lost so much
amazing.
weight when he got older. He used to see such a pudgy child.
Too soon, he was taken too soon. But his sacrifice was what's gonna save everything. So Naomi, you won't be surprised to know that I had an audience with Quise, and clearly I've been released because I'm supposed to be on a mission for him. Can you possibly guess what I'm supposed to do to Karim? Just a guess.
I could only imagine you've been sent here to destroy him.
Of course! Does this sound familiar? While I was talking to Quise, I was just going, it never changes, does it? Even with Eternals. It's the same, let's manipulate everybody, I need to get a bunch of pawns for my game.
Why
Really,
doesn't this...
it's just
It
frustrating.
seems like the Prince of Lies all over.
It's exactly what it is. It's a go-go and a from, a Mavo, all over again. And now with Eternals. You can't get away from it. It's all people want to do is manipulate. But
Are you...
I have time, obviously. We have
Obviously.
some time. We have to figure out what we're going to do. Karim, clearly, I'm not going to kill you.
See
But I
her
don't
raise the
know.
eyebrow like,
Just like wouldn't take much right now.
I don't know what
why would you kill him?
because the Eternal Quise, who captured me after I was killed in battle, made a pact with me, shall we say, that I could be let free if I agreed to kill Karim. I'm sure, Themba, these kinds of basic negotiations and hostage negotiations are things you've heard
What
of
do
before.
you mean killed in battle?
I mean killed in battle.
Then how are you standing?
You can put two and two together, Themba. I trust you.
Ah,
I love
I
the
see.
I love the meta game here. It's like, listen, you know I'm an Eternal. Just have your character connect the dots.
oh,
I know you know something about the lost girl, and I don't want you to freak out. And I want you to know that Goffu trusted me, and he knew.
oh, the spirits told me he trusted you.
So
Themba, not like that.
we are dealing with Eternals.
Yeah.
Would you like to know who else is an Eternal?
Please tell me.
Lundu.
Why? Why am I not surprised?
I draw my sword.
Okay.
I like to
Karim,
say
please.
outside the game, it was kind of funny at the beginning when he's like he licked his hand. I was like, wait a minute, I'm not there to say anything.
Karim, I know what is most distressing for me is the fact that he's gonna be that annoying forever. Forever.
You will be
Forever.
annoying for about 5 more minutes.
Forever. That's
Karim,
what?
You
I
are
could not.
in no shape.
I
Yeah,
could
I'm
not-
like holding my like
That's
flaming
magic.
sword, but I'm also like holding myself up against the wall.
I don't
You see me
know
look at-
what would
You
be
see me look at
more.
Dream, and that's a nice
compassionate.
sword.
I don't know what would be more compassionate, putting him out of his own misery with having to live with himself that way, or just putting him out of our misery. Because I can't imagine. He's the worst Eternal ever. I told Quise, by the way. Why did you pick
Pretty
that?
much the worst anything ever.
I'm assuming you can't just eat him now, correct?
No, I can't eat him.
But you can chop off his head.
I could, yes, we
Just
could do
surprise
lots.
him. There's
him.
got to be a way, correct? Maybe you can friend him, unfriend him, and take a head for a souvenir.
Quise is assuaged for now. I don't know how long that's going to last. Like most of these things, they leave it up to us to figure out how to enact their evil master plan to kill my friends and go across the country killing everybody else. Oh my gosh, I tell you what. So we have time. I'm not sure how much time. What I've seen of Quise is he's very cunning, he's very smart, but I feel he is not 100% sold on his megalomania, shall we say. I think there's reason with him to an extent. Even just these few hours there, I saw that a glimpse of reason and sense. He's apparently very high in the ranks. He has quite a few people under him and reports directly to the Emperor. There's an Emperor of Eternals and a bunch of spies.
Who is this Emperor of Eternals?
I didn't
Well,
ask. question at the
He was
time. I didn't
always
want
the
to
emperor of
make
Eternals.
him believe that I was trying to infiltrate him. I was just trying to stay on the friendly up and up.
And
As
what does he want with our city? Well, soon to be city.
Well, he wants to know if we know if there are any eternal enclaves around, which he could kind of absorb into his, retinue, shall we say, his enclave.
Yes,
But
because we have been out searching for these enclaves ourselves while we've been
right,
trying to maintain a city that has been under attack by Eternals constantly.
sure. So as much informed as he thinks he is, clearly there's some room for growth in that area. I don't think I'm going to be able to do too much pulling the wool over his eyes, and he has no qualms at all about suggesting he would torture me and keep me alive forever in a constant state of torture and misery, or drowning. Like, this is not familiar. Okay, I
That's
get
not
it.
good.
It's not good, but it's also quite, again, pedestrian. It's
Yes, but
The
if that
poisoning
were
of
to
the
happen,
water, do you know if it went through? Did you hear anything?
I believe that that is still a situation we need to take care of. And if it hasn't completed yet, he's definitely not going to stop. That's for sure. He doesn't want us here for you, and he definitely wants to take over this outpost, and he wants to see if there's any other Eternals that he can recruit, essentially. So, oh, and he wants me to kill Karim in case.
And he waits for what? He waits for this, for you to kill me?
Yeah, because you're half dead now, so I'm supposed to just poke you with a stick and drag your body over there. Like,
Oh.
I don't know. What I'm supposed to eat you? Bring a lock of hair, bring a finger, proof of life, proof of death. I don't know.
Arthur,
Seem to leave it up to me.
the Eternals know if someone's living or dead instinctively, right? Like, did we know
they
anything
can,
about that?
sense their blood to some extent.
I can't work it weekend at Bernie's this thing.
I think you could.
Quise is
In order to do it, you'd have to be like checking somebody out, like cut them and be like, "Oh, I guess you're an Eternal." It's not like they can just be like, I guess you're,
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering, if she could bring me back there looking like I was dead for him to eat.
They would probably check that.
Yeah. But then I'm
By
filled with
actually
gunpowder, right?
And then
You don't have gunpowder.
And then they light the
Cream.
fuse
right.
No.
Why would they light a fuse?
Then your
to
blood is
blow up all
poisoned.
the Eternals. Look, there's like 100 of them.
But why would they light the fuse?
No.
Because
Whoever
reason.
brings me lights the fuse. Yeah.
It did seem to me that there's a lot of things Quise doesn't know. Like, just by looking at me, he couldn't tell that I was a fairly new Eternal. I must look pretty good. We're doing something right, Naomi. Thank you for your help in that respect.
You're incredibly welcome.
But he is very well connected, very sure of himself.
Why wouldn't he be?
And has quite a few people on his side now. A few zombies-like creatures. Do we know what zombies are in this world? A few
Sleepers
not smart
or dreamers.
Eternals.
Dreamers.
I like sheath my flaming sword, but then I turn to Themba. You carry a long sword on your back. Are you skilled as a warrior?
Of course. How else do I kill snake people? Or nightmen in this universe?
He's very cross at you, Karim.
This Oba Ubuntu is right now up in town as an Eternal. We must eliminate that threat first of all.
He's eaten children before, by the way, in the town that he was placed in as a spy previous to this one.
Hope.
You see, like, Goffu in heaven, like, whoa, lightning bolt!
Karim, I can't stay here. I need to go and find Hope. If this is true and he's been eating children, I can't take this chance.
Okay, Thimba, will you come with me as I place him under arrest? I fear if there's violence, I will not be able to handle myself. I feel weak.
At this point in time,
Oh.
Naomi and Karim, I don't know
I feel
if
I can
Ubuntu
vent
knows
some anger.
much.
I could vent a lot of anger as I look at Izzy. Or I always get her name wrong, her nickname.
EB.
EB.
Arthur, can I roll another heal on him?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, if
Before
we're
you
gonna have.
leave, let me take care of those wounds.
I think
6
That's a bit better.
HP.
find Hope and make sure she's okay. I don't necessarily think we need to tip off Ubuntu right now by acting hysterically. So if we just remain calm, he won't be suspecting too much.
Ubuntu is a thorn in my side, not just because he is an Eternal. I want him dead.
You see me look. You see me look at. You see me look at Kareem like. I guess Naomi must think something of you, and she touches you and heal you too.
Oh, dang.
Thank
Told
you.
it Naomi.
Like,
God.
questions are, as you know me and my
Get those ones
plan,
out of the way.
Yeah, good job.
what happens after we secure New Hope? Make sure that our people are safe and handle Ubuntu. And what do you want to do about Quisig? Bought us some time, being his emissary of threats.
We have been joined by brave new warriors, but
Oh, there's more than just Avienda and Themba.
Yes.
Oh,
I do not feel like it would be
Oh,
the wise choice of a leader to lead a small band against this incredibly powerful group of Eternals.
but it's
I'm
good
also
news to know
worried.
that we're safe.
Ubuntu mentioned that there are other spears here. What if he's gone to them? What if they're no longer spears, but what if they're actually Eternals now? What if they never were spears to begin with, and all of this is nothing but a giant farce?
We will have to answer those questions with a calm mind and a calm heart, Naomi. I know you and Kareem have a lot at stake with Hope here. But again, we have to be level-headed about our approach. Right now, I don't think Ubuntu knows any of this information, which means we have the upper hand. I can find out by talking to the other spears what they've been hearing from Ubuntu. But
I understand.
I don't think it's wise to tip our hand at this time. Just a little bit.
Why?
Just a little bit more discretion.
But what will we gain? We
Well,
will take him, put him
we
under
won't
arrest, and we will
Sure.
But what if
interrogate
he
him, and then
knows?
we will.
What if he knows that she is also an Eternal? We have gone this long, these many years, without anybody knowing. If we were to somehow ruin the fact that she is also an Eternal, do you imagine what would happen to our people? Do you imagine how they would turn on us? This would be the worst mistake we could ever make as rulers of this land.
This is why.
You see me say ruler's a strong word.
This is why I advise caution. If we go upstairs and Ubuntu happens to be right there, I'm not sure the most wise thing is to try to lob his head off right now.
No.
But what
I
makes
know how
him
you feel.
deserving of life?
He doesn't have life.
He doesn't
He
have
acts
life.
against us every day.
Of course. And we've been able
Oh,
to
He
yeah.
handle
seeks
him.
only to gain more power for himself,
Kareem-
in the community and
What?
politically establishing himself.
What has changed?
For what
In
reason?
the last few hours. What has changed? He's still the most annoying person we all know. Now we just know he's annoying forever.
Yes, I was
To-
about to kill him 5 minutes ago.
That would have been really difficult, I think. But it
It
is
would have been
true.
entertaining.
He did come to us. He was going to follow us here, but we had to somehow put him in his place.
I had to forcefully stop him. He is out of bounds and
Sure.
must be stopped. I can see, Naomi, that you are worried he will call out that, we have another eternal among us. However, that just makes me want to change my plan to murder him without having him
I understand this,
be
but in the
arrested.
same sense, we have left him alone with our people for far too long of a time.
I believe that is the most pressing matter.
I feel that he has probably won influence over them himself. As I was going to commune with the spirits, he was talking to them even then.
You see, even another minute is harmful to our community.
But
while he is here.
destroying him will be equally as harmful. We have to find a better way to do this. Perhaps we should have invited him down here.
I hear
so
no
that we can take
suggestions
him-
that stop his actions other than my suggestion of decapitation.
Oh, I do not agree with you. I do believe that decapitation is the best way to rid ourselves of this annoying parasite. But we have to do it without anybody around us. We have to do it without...
Ubuntu just disappears and doesn't return.
Exactly. I could not have said it better.
But making sure your family and our village is safe and our city is safe, I think that should come first. And then how we deal with Ubuntu, it can happen as swiftly as you like, Karim, but it can't happen publicly.
Ubuntu is a stubborn person. How do we get him to do something we ask, such as come away with us
He wants
where
to
there's
be
no one
part
else?
of the cool kids club, so
How about we have
wanted
another
to come
meeting
here.
out? We can have another meeting outside the village.
we've discussed
Secret mission. He
his
is stupid.
application for Obaness for the village, or to lead the spears or something. Anything. We need his opinion on something. I think might even just be enough.
I don't think he'd believe it coming from me.
It's very... I can handle that part. I just don't want us to go upstairs right now and start swinging swords.
Very well.
I
We
agree.
tell him to join us where?
I don't
North
know.
of the city? Where the woods start?
North of the city is the river.
Isn't there isn't it? Oh, it's
No,
like
you're
it'd be
directly
east.
against the river.
Yeah.
There's no woods for many miles.
Well,
in
the
any
river
direction.
curves. I thought there was woods where we were fighting. No?
It's kind of lightly sparsely wooded.
Okay,
with
so the
scrub
first
trees.
up by the first trees then.
Yeah.
How far do we have to go so people wouldn't hear a man scream?
Oh.
Do you think he would scream?
You know, I
100
don't know the exact distance, but I would guess
200
at least
feet.
12 miles.
I'm sure I can calm him enough.
What's that meter?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could one-shot him anyways.
We don't know this.
understand handling him sooner rather than later would be prudent, and I do agree with that. And Naomi, to your point, I think handling him away from the city and not in public is going to be the best way we do this. I don't think it's going to be too hard to get him away. I just think we have to be ready for him to grow a brain and suspect
I don't know. I think he would be fighting back more than growing a brain. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I'm sure that he knows exactly what he's doing.
Of course, he's killed before, he's eaten children before, he's come from another village. Quise has him as a spy.
Has he eaten? Who's he been feeding on here?
The people that have been missing. And we kind of thought he was trying to pin on me, or could have pinned on me.
Yes. Which we all know that wasn't true.
And Quise is pretty sure that he's a sociopath.
Yes.
But if we haven't given away much yet, then we might still be able to convince him to come with us. A ways away.
So we're going a little bit in circles here.
Yeah.
What's the plan? Is it pull
We're
him
gonna
away,
try to
accuse him publicly?
I think
pull him away.
We're going to take him away.
yes. I don't wish to. I mean, I will just get in an argument with him. I will go out to the first set of trees. It is not far, but far enough that people can not see. If he makes noise, we simply make an excuse.
The fact that he doesn't bleed.
In order to kill an Eternal, you'll have to chop our head off or burn us to death. The second death, I guess.
So I like stand up and I'm looking much better because I've gotten all the heals off on me. And first, Arthur, I like open the door and peek out. Wanna do a little peeky?
Okay, you're looking out from the secret vault inside
Yeah.
the secret vault. There's no one out there.
Okay, so now I go do another peek out of the vault.
You're looking out into the vault. There's no one in there either.
No, yeah. I just make sure that because
Okay.
I know I'm gonna see him like one of these doors if I
No.
open it without.
What
peeking
happens
through.
is you come out of the garrison basement
Mhm.
and you look towards the barracks and you hear Ubuntu singing a song to ward off lions. It's like a lullaby, and he's surrounded by a group of the children who are still scared and awake, but with all of the adults moving around. And he's currently got his hand on Hope's head and is like brushing her hair back. And that's when we go on break. It's rapbearhorn.com.
Oh, Arthur.
Oh, Arthur.
You are best.
So,
Fuck
Swargla is in
you
chat
two.
right now.
Hey, Swarg.
If
Hi,
it's your
Sword.
first night checking out the stream, if you're following us via the Roll20 host, go ahead and head to twitch.tv/APGamingREAL. Go ahead and click that follow button if you like. Like what you're hearing so far today, confused as to who these characters are, go ahead and click on the YouTube button on APGamingREAL and check out the other 8 episodes you've missed. And perhaps you should check out the campaign Swargula, Virgil Levenger, and myself are all in, called Star Wars Age of the Empires, which will be having its 20th episode this Wednesday at 8 Eastern. So, we'll be back in about 8 minutes for another 2 hours of Spears of the Dawn. Let's find out just what happens to Ubuntu and Abelia. So much drama.